Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, Shayla. Good morning, G. Good morning, Shakespeare Xbox. Good morning, Victoria. Good morning, the One Mighty Pen. Where is the... There we go. Guys, good morning. As we get in, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live, push us out to the FYP. Also, if you could, please, knock out the daily gift goal. Right now, it's the little love you very much. If we knock that out, the daily gift goal out a couple of times, it will help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, we're only looking for some debates. So if you are a Trump supporter, get in a box. If you're someone that supports Donald Timothy Trump, get in the box. We're looking for some debates. If you're someone that actually disagrees with anything on the background, because, hey, America doesn't really care. We've been able to actually really sniff it out, and we know for a fact that America doesn't really care. And when I say America doesn't really care, I mean Republicans, they don't care about the Epstein survivors. I mean, white men, they don't care about anything but power. Moderate Democrats don't care about our country. White women don't care about white supremacy. And BLAGA, FBA, you guys don't care about black people, right? I think we got to start talking about it. We got to start actually, saying what it is. We got to get to the heart of it. And like, this is the opportunity to do so. So if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Again, keep knocking out the little 1 cent gift goal. It'll boost the live, push us out to the FYP. If you're over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. It'll help push the VOD out to more people. And also, share the live maybe once or twice. That's helpful. But more than sharing the live, what really helps is reposting the live. So share the live maybe once or twice, but repost the live. That's way more important. We're going to start getting people up here in just a moment. If you're over on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and you would like to actually join and debate me, the only thing that you have to do is click that link. You don't have to come to TikTok. All you got to do is click that link, and then we can get you over here. So with that being said, let's get after it.
You stepped in a box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here, you better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Great stats who get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah, step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat. You talk slick, but you ain't got source. Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call. You slip once, I'm snatching it all. Yeah. Step in if you dare. If you dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. No. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Step in if you dare. You hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Yeah, this ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flame space.
It absolutely is.
Sparring with Santana.
Guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you are friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Also, like I said, if you're over on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and you would like to join the debate, the only thing that you have to do is click that link. You don't even have to leave where you are. I'm dropping the link in the chat again. You do not have to leave where you are. The only thing you have to do is click the link and you can get up here and debate me. So do it. Do it. No thumb thugs, no keyboard warriors. We don't play those games. What up, bro?
What's up, Santana?
What's happening?
Man, let me tell you, yesterday, I had my TV big screen set up. I had my speaker set up. I was like, let me go see what's going down on Jubilee today.
Oh, man. Oh,
man. I saw you, bro.
Yeah, bro,
you
listen.
Cooked.
Listen, it's funny because they kept almost, that's the only question that I got a chance to answer, and they kept almost all of it. I was surprised.
Man, Rokana, when you sat down, he was like, what's up, Santana? I didn't know y'all were boys.
Listen, apparently, I don't know, right? No, like, listen, it was super dope, and the whole thing is, like, I didn't know what position to take it because, of course, like, you know, he's on the right. I'm sorry, he's on the left. I'm on the left. Yeah, we agree with the Epstein Transparency Act, but I thought at the very least I was able to have like some type of dialogue, and he and I, like, I think it was pretty good overall. But you know what I really got out of it, and you know what? Since you're here and people are listening, I might as well go ahead and break the news. So did you see all the actual Republicans and how they were doing what about Biden the entire time?
Yeah, right.
I've set up multiple debates with them this week, so I'm going to be debating. Oh, they got to catch a fade. And they got to catch a fade this week. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, sure. I was like, ooh, awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna be debating.
That first guy, man. That first guy was an asshole.
Yeah. I'll have to tell you more about that offline. But yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna be debating them this week, and I'm gonna line them all up and knock them all down. You know how we do.
I know how it is, bro. Man, like I said, I guess Rokana, man, he's watching Sparring with Santana. He must be sitting in his office because the way he walked up, he's like, "What's up, Santana?" I was like, "Oh shit!"
Super dope. It was super dope.
All right, bro. I just wanted to say congratulations. It was great show.
Oh, and, you know, it's nothing like going 1v20 against a bunch of MAGA asshats, but you know, I'll take it where I can get it.
Yeah, bro. It was definitely an experience. But anyways, bro. All right, dog. I'll catch you later.
All right, bro. Have a good one. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Send your daily heart me. It's only one coin, and we'll boost the live and push us out to the FYP. And yeah, like you guys just heard, I set up, this week, I'm going to be doing some debates with multiple Republicans that were on Jubilee. Yeah, all of them got to catch a fade. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, I am a Trump supporter, and yeah, I do disagree. And the one I disagree with, well, first of all, congratulations on being on the Surrounded thing.
Oh, no,
even though I don't agree with like all your takes and stuff, you did a great job.
Okay, I appreciate it. Listen, thank you. Wait,
one other question for you: are you going to be like putting out like when like those specific debates like with those people are going to be happening, like so people can like plan ahead?
Yeah. It's going to be like individual debates. And so it's a few of them that have already said yes. Some of them said no because they, and be honest, they said, oh, I don't know enough, which is a super interesting take. But a few of them have said yes. And so I'm going to definitely let everyone know when I'll be doing it. And it'll be cool, like a special one-on-one thing. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I like hopping on just to hear what people's point of views and stuff. But like, I guess my question is in regards to the Republicans and the Epstein.
Wait, hold on. Before we go too far, I have a quick intro that I normally do. It sounds like you know who I am, which I appreciate it. But Can you give me 1 second to do a proper introduction for people who don't know who I am with this? All right, perfect. All right, guys, let's go ahead and lock this thing in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, we are only looking for some debate. So if you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin to boost the live pushes out to the FYP. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1 cent gift goals. If we can knock those out a couple of times, it'll boost the live pushes out to the FYP. Right now, it's a little pink heart puff. So if we can knock those out, that would be super helpful. All right. And so you said that you are a Trump supporter, and I'm assuming the point that you disagree with was the Republicans and them, the fact that they don't care about the Epstein survivors.
Yeah, I think. And that's kind of like why I wanted to get your question, because obviously that kind of circles back to like when you were on Surrounded, like that's a lot of basically what a lot of it was about. I don't believe that Pam Bondi does. I don't believe that, obviously, I think the higher level people don't. I think the people in Congress, they can't, and the Senate, they can't. I think some of them, their hands are tied. Some of them are beholden to Trump. Like, I'm not like a person that just like bows to everybody. I want to hear people's points of views, and I believe there's allowance for discourse and to disagree with people you voted for. And I just think a lot of them are like, it feels like their hands are tied, kind of like when Ro Khanna was talking about how they had to pick and choose what they could put in there to get the bill through. And the only thing I wish they, like some of the people brought up, is that there was a way to hold them more accountable to not following through with that act.
Well, and
sooner versus like the.
No, I was going to say that's exactly what I was saying. I mean, like, and I called Ro Khanna out directly to his face and said, like, the legislation that you and Thomas Massie created didn't have teeth, right? There were no like legal repercussions. I looked through the entire Epstein Transparency Act, and it was more like a request, not like something that had to be mandated. And even with the actual mandate, there were loopholes for the Trump administration to get out of releasing any information they didn't feel like was necessary to be released. Now, the issue that I have with people, quote unquote, having their hands tied is the issue where we look at like the fact that the Democratic Party, the people who sign on to the list, they absolutely did so. And you can see that, like, yeah, you had a few Republicans who were, quote unquote, brave enough to actually step up, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Nancy Mace. But you take a look at the fact that the large majority of Republican leadership and just Republican members were unwilling to actually step up and do what was right. And their hand had to be forced in order to do what's right. And then now they're being more accepting of like, there's 3 million files that still haven't been released. And now Todd Blanche is saying, oh, we're done. And you see even with the Surrounded episode, a large swath of the Republicans were just saying, well, you know, Trump released more than anyone else and da-da-da-da-da. But like, there's no push for the Republican Party to hold him accountable and to get all the information out. And that's the problem.
Do you believe, and this is, again, I could be completely wrong. What I believe is that, and I don't agree with it, but I believe that some of them were more fearful of not being reelected to their position. So to kind of like kiss the ring, so to speak. Yeah, I think it took more time. And I don't agree with that at all, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's the thing within politics, period. Right. Which and see, this is a problem that I've had with so many politicians as a whole. Right. Is that they're not interested in doing what's best for their constituents. They're only interested in doing what's best to keep them in power. Right. The saying is the what they worry about is the next election. Right. And so that's why even with presidents, you don't see them actually necessarily trying to enact things that they wanted to do, things that'll be directly beneficial to whatever group that they care most about until their second term, when there's no more elections to be ran, because they keep thinking about re-election. And so, yeah, I think that not only Republicans, Democrats as well, have a fear of losing power. And so the fear of losing power gets them to vote on party lines, to be less willing to actually negotiate with the other side. There's a lot to that. And yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on with that statement.
Cool. Well, hey, man, I just want to say congratulations again on being on that Surrounded. And I look forward to hearing when your other debates are. And yeah, I enjoy your discourse. So.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming up.
Have a great day.
You as well. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. If you are a friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost live and push us out to the FYP. If you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. If you're on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, like I said, I'm absolutely positive that there's a large majority of people within our country who do not care. They don't care about people. And it's something that we have to bring to the forefront. And it's something that I have smoke for with so many different people, whether we talk about Republicans, anyone that still supports this Republican Party, you don't care about the Epstein survivors. Like, there's no actual push from the right to get justice for those survivors. There's no actual push from the right to get transparency from this administration. There's no actual push from the right to hold anyone accountable. The only thing they wanted to do is to be able to say, well, we released the files and go from there. And that's where we are. Now, also, let's not forget that the moderate Democrats, you guys don't care about our country. Anyone that would still consider themselves to be a moderate Democrat, you don't care about our country, because you don't care that the Republican Party is absolutely ripping through all our social safety nets. You guys aren't fighting the fact that Donald Trump is trying to increase the military budget to $1.5 trillion while at the same time cutting so many programs that actually benefit everyday Americans. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Talking to me? Demo
Yes.
himself? Manuel Alejandro Lopez. Hi, Santana. I'm a big fan, by the way. I'm a big fan.
Oh, thank you.
So I gotta, yes, to answer your question, as of right now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I support Donald Trump because of everything he is doing. He is going to push the pendulum so far right and so far, because he's so crazy, and these Republicans or MAGA people, he's going to support him no matter what he does. And if America's going to wake up, it has to go to the insane right, just so the pendulum can swing back to where we want it to be, where the moderate, and we can add these social programs, giving family what they need and everything else. Do I support him in the way of, oh, he's a good man, he's good for America? No. But do I support him in a way where he's going to rally like the country and the country has to break down? Do I want this to happen? No. But do I think it's headed this way? Yes, because everything he's fed into, all the people that prop him up, and then also there's so much, Santana, like, oh my God.
Okay, so let me pause you for a second. Right. So just to ensure the position that you're coming from, you're an accelerationist.
Purely what I really wanted was just to live my life, to have food and board, to have money and everything. But now I feel like Trump has radicalized this country where I want it to be, that so I can get back to normalization. So you know what? Yes, to answer your question, yes, now I am. Yes.
Okay. So there's two issues with both of your points, right? The issue with the actual accelerationist view, and then it's also an issue with the quote unquote get things back to normal view, and they kind of coincide. So question for you, with the accelerationist view, what's your plan?
My goodness, dude. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a 9-to-5 worker. I'm a blue collar worker. So there's not much I can do, but I do the protests and I do everything else. But it just seems like
no. What's the
So-
plan when everything breaks down? When the country, when our infrastructures start to fail, our electrical grid starts to fail, when people don't have food and water because
it's going to be anarchy. I would have to hide. I'm scared. I would have to hide in my family. I don't own guns. I don't do that. I got to fight on my own.
What about the people who are already impoverished, disenfranchised, people with disabilities who don't have access, people who, let's say, need their dialysis, people who don't have the ability to just take care of themselves on a normal basis? What about them?
Man, it's already hard on them now. I can't imagine when it comes to that point.
Yeah,
they're probably going to pass away, sadly, and I don't want this to happen, but I just feel like it's going to happen. That's why I'm just like,
again, the position that you're taking is you are calling for acceleration without an actual plan to help those people that are already being disenfranchised, because marginalized communities are already harmed. But the premise of acceleration speaks to like harming marginalized communities even more. Question: are you a white man?
No, I'm actually Hispanic.
Hispanic isn't a race.
Sorry, I'm from Panama.
Okay, so do you present as indigenous, or do you present as white, or what?
I present as I don't know. My dad's Mexican, but he's more Americanized. Like I don't know.
Right? No, we're not talking about nationalities. We're talking about
my skin is brown.
Okay, so we're talking about phenotypical characteristics, and your skin being brown. Like there could be a couple of different things if your skin is brown, but when people look at you, like how do you present to the world? Do you present? You're saying your skin is brown. Do you present as a black person? Do you present as an indigenous person? What do you present as?
I wish I could turn my camera on so you can see me. I'm Americanized. I don't know. Like I present me. Like I don't really have I can't turn on my camera. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
But I speak Spanish sometimes, so I guess a Spanish speaker.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's not race is a socially acceptable grouping of phenotypical characteristics that was created for the.
Is Latino?
No, there's 5 races, and Latino is not one. Again, it's going to depend on your phenotypical characteristics. More than likely, you are, like I would probably venture to assume that you may be indigenous.
Okay.
Like that's what I would think, but I don't know. Anyway, regardless. All right. So the point that I'm trying to get across, right, is like the premise that you are someone who is advocating for this, where you're not a part of a protected class, and you advocating for acceleration, and understanding that you're not a part of a protected class. Like you already said, you're gonna have to like hide with your family. Like the point that I'm getting across is that wanting to tear down everything without a plan is insanity. I'm not saying that revolution isn't necessary, because revolution is absolutely necessary. But if there's going to be revolution, then you need to do it in a constructive way with revolutionary people who have a revolutionary mindset, which comes with a plan as far as pre-revolution and post-revolution, not just someone that wants to burn everything down so they can, get back to normal. Because think about this. If the United States collapse, right, and everything that you say that you're pushing for now happens, do you think that you're going to get back to normal? Do you think things are going to go back to the way they were in like 2015 or anything like that?
Hopefully. So being optimistic, I hope there will be. If this did happen, I would want it to be more than normal. I don't want to go back where or healthcare is unaffordable or housing is unaffordable. I hope when revolution does happen, we'll do see some change that will help.
Wait, what do you think revolution is?
I be honest, throughout the history, it's bloodshed. It really, I can't hide behind that. Like the French, the American Revolution, the toppling of the current government. Like,
right,
I hope it's gonna be bloodshed.
What I'm saying is, like, if there were to be revolution, it's not going to be revolution to revert to capitalism. It's not going to be revolution to revert to the status quo. Like, that's the problem that I have with what you're saying. Like, there's no way in the world there could be revolution and then we go back to the status quo. That's not how revolution works. No one, you may long for the days of, like, you know, Barack Obama or something like that.
Yes,
but but like the thing is it's about progression. Liberation is revolution is about the liberation of people. And if you, with people being like liberated, it's going to be progression. It's going to be dismantling systems. It's going to be dismantling racism. It's going to be dismantling the patriarchy. It's going to be dismantling all of those capitalism. Sure.
So I hear you, and I agree with you, but I think I misspoke. When I meant back to normal, I meant like my anxiety levels. But like, yes, I do believe, like, I think the laws need to represent the times. So that falls under progressivism, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, I don't really want to revert back to what it was. I want it to be what we can have, you know, because what we're spending on Iran is a billion a week, I think, right? Someone made a counter, and we can put that into, you know, our healthcare, into Social Security, into infrastructure, and all that. But yeah, I don't want to go back to normal, the status quo. I misspoke. I meant my anxiety levels, like my state of mind. But
if you're so worried about your state of mind, then like, what do you think is going to happen to your state of mind when anarchy occurs?
Oh man, I'm gonna go crazy.
So then why are you advocating for your downfall?
I mean, because I voted for, so it was 2013, no, 2012. I voted for Barack. If I could, in 2008, I was in 8th grade, but I would vote him in the first time. I voted for Biden. I voted for Kamala. I did my best to vote for the side that did not side with the fascists, side with with the white nationalists, all of them. I don't want to stand by them, but everyone is crazy. They're going to accelerate this regardless. I feel like the opposition it's non-existent. So it's like, I can't vote for anyone that has power, because anyone that has power is controlled through the lobbyist. And I don't want to go through the whole conspiracy things, but like, just get it over with. Just get the suffering over with, so we can go to revolution, so we can start the process of,
I think you are like woefully you're woefully misunderstanding the premise as far as revolution and liberation. I think you feel like that, oh, there's going to be some tough times and then one day we're going to be good again. Like, the premise as far as revolution and liberation is something that's necessary, but it's also something that can't be done in a silo. It's not something that can be done as far as just like, oh, you know, like, we'll do this and then in a year or two we'll be fine. No, that's not how it works. And then again, like, the point that I keep drilling down is, without a plan, you're just setting a house on fire and watching it burn and saying that I'm going to live in the ashes. It doesn't work that way. Like, if you're not surrounding yourself with people who are actively preparing for revolution, if you're not surrounding yourself with people who are actively building community and building structure within community and giving people tools to succeed in a capitalistic society like that we live in now, then there's no way in hell that you're going to be okay. And there's no way in hell this is going to work. So if you really like believe in what you're saying, then the best thing that you can do is surround yourself with people who actually know what they're doing, know what they're saying. Like, there's a ton of people, even on this app, if you want to actually hear people who are actively trying to dismantle the systems that currently uphold, you can go to places like Ari for Education. You can go to places like Kinsey. Both of them are actively looking to actually dismantle the patriarchy and gender. Like, you know, Kinsey's a gender abolitionist.
That's amazing.
You can go to places like Solid You can go to places like Sean. Like there's so many people who are actually out here advocating for the people, the proletariat, versus like just saying like, oh, this is so bad, we need to just let it all go. So your premise and point, like you're completely wrong as far as how you're going about it.
Okay. Santana, I really appreciate your voice. I hear you hop on Dean. Do you go on Parker sometimes too? I haven't seen you on Parker.
Yeah, I hop around in a lot of different spaces.
Yeah, I love what you guys are doing. You have a rest of your good day, okay? You changed my mind, all right? Thank you. I'm going crazy, and you really calm me down, so thank you.
I would also recommend therapy.
Yes,
and there's a lot of ways to go about it. Like if you can afford therapy, then do that. If you can't, there's like some low cost or free options. But like dealing with anxiety is something that you shouldn't have to deal with alone. And, you know, there's different methods that seeking professional help can do. So I would always advocate for taking care of your mental health as well.
I am. It's affordability that's the problem also. There's a lot of people that's going through with that. And
there are some actually free and cheap options as well.
All right. I'll keep looking. Santana, thank you again, man.
Yep, thank you.
Later, man.
Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you are a friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I'm more confused about something on the background.
Okay, what are you confused about?
White women and white supremacy, are they not also affected by white supremacy?
I said white women don't care about white supremacy.
You figure they would because it affects them too.
Not the white women that are trying to uphold white supremacy.
Well, I can't really speak for white women.
Are you a white man?
Yes, and I am.
Do you agree with the fact that white men don't care about anything but power?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. They seem to be very power hungry.
What drew you to coming up to like speak about white women instead of like anything else?
The topic white women, white supremacy actually confused me. I didn't know if they were a part of it or if they were okay with it or not.
Yeah, the premise is white women don't care about white supremacy. I mean, I know someone who's like, oh, you can say white men too. But like I said to them, the reason why the level up I have is like white men don't care about anything except power is because that's a level up. Like it's hyper specific for white women, but white men, it's broader. So, yeah.
Would you say the same thing about liberal white women?
That's who I'm talking about.
That's a little surprising. I know conservative white women would throw each other under the bus gladly.
Okay. Yeah, liberal white women are at the forefront of this. Give me a second. Let me thank a couple of people and then we can keep talking about it. W's in the chat for, let's see here. W's in the chat for Kara for the $1.99 super chat to say, can you share the info for the gals from last night? Yeah, that's Petty and Jay Hops. I'll see if I can get their information and share it over on YouTube. But that was Petty and Jay Hops, who were the white women, the quote unquote gals that were speaking last night and who actually were absolutely amazing. W's in the chat for Mike for the $20 super chat. Mike didn't say anything, just sent the $20 love. Thank you so much, Mike. W's in the chat for Lockhart, who sent a $5 super chat to say, love the lies. I heard you last night on Dean's stream regarding squatting, and you seemed you. I'm assuming you mean seen you, and him didn't agree. Would love to see a long form conversation between you. Yeah, you know, I think that like there's a whole thing, right? And I wasn't advocating for squatting, but what the point that I was trying to highlight is that in Spain, there is more of a focus on people. And so there are extreme measures that are put in place by the Spanish government in order to ensure that the people are taken care of. That was the thing as far as the heart of what I was drilling home. I wasn't advocating for squatting. I was just saying, like, Spain cares about their people. W's in the chat for Chip for the $10 super chat to say respect, bro. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Chip. I really appreciate the hell out of you. And last but W's in the chat for Brookie, who sent $1 donation and beautifully said, absolutely poetry. Thank you, Brookie. Fucking W's in the chat for Stephanie. Holy shit, Stephanie. Stephanie sent a $50 donation. Stephanie says, seen you on Jubilee. Great job. Holy shit, Stephanie. Thank you so much for that $50 donation. Thank you for the love and kindness. Holy shit, guys. 1 million W's in the chat for Stephanie. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and links are in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Again, guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. All right, so the point as far as what we're talking about when I said like liberal women, again, there's a line of demarcation when it comes to people who are actively trying to do the things that are necessary to support marginalized communities and uplift marginalized voices. But when you talk about liberal white women who aren't actively looking to fight white supremacy within their own family, and they do things that are performative in a sense of like wearing the blue bracelet to identify themselves as a safe space. Those are the type of people that I'm talking about who don't really care about white supremacy, because if you're not actively fighting white supremacy in your own family, then how can you actually fight white supremacy out in the public?
That's an interesting point. And it might just depend on the family you come from. Your parents might be too old to actually change their minds, just sort of set in their ways.
Yeah, and which, yeah, like I hear you, but that still doesn't negate the fact that if you're not actively fighting white supremacy, especially in your home, then you're uplifting it, like you're fostering it. Because what happens is those people who engage in white supremacy will continue to spread that ideology and continue to do things that are harmful to marginalized communities. So you have to actively fight against it.
You've certainly given me a lot to think about.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down. I appreciate you coming up. But we're gonna look for some more debates.
Thank you. Also, before you drop me, midterm elections, get out and vote.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're a friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I just wanted to kind of back off of what the last person just was up there talking about, the white women, white supremacy. I am a white woman, and I obviously do not agree with white supremacy whatsoever. I actually try to fight it as much as possible. I've raised two children. Who very much, actually, they correct me sometimes on things that I say that I don't realize are things that you shouldn't say. Sometimes I say things that I don't realize are not allowed to be said anymore.
Right, but how are you actively fighting white supremacy?
I'm asking, I came up to ask you ways that I could be fighting it more, because I am fighting it within my family, but what are some ways besides that I could be fighting it more? I live in a very red community, a very, very red. I'm a blue dot in a red community. I am surrounded by Trump supporters. I'm surrounded by lots of hate. And I actually have a transgender child who I have to try to protect in this community. And that's usually my fight. I wear a lot of rainbow stuff, and I do wear a lot of t-shirts that are Like today, I'm wearing a shirt that says immigrants are not criminals, but our president is. I do wear a lot of t-shirts that are, you know, standing up for what I believe, but how do I fight more? Like, what do I do? There's not a lot of activity in my area as far as marches and walks and things like that. So what do I do?
Talk to a white person.
What do you mean?
I mean, have this conversation with a white person. The fact that like you are looking towards a black person to help you understand how to fight white supremacy speaks to the fact that I hear what you're saying, and it seems like you want to take the right steps, but you're not in the right place. The first place that you need to get to is educating yourself, and you know, calling on black people to help you labor and get to the point of understanding how to dismantle white supremacy is a huge no-no, right? Black people shouldn't have to teach you how to see the humanity in black people or anyone else, but even more so, the only way that white supremacy can be dismantled is through white people. And so it's going to take you actually connecting with other white people who have already started doing the work and who understand the process of fighting white supremacy, connecting with them, building with them, and then spreading that in your family and then in your community amongst other white people to actively fight white supremacy.
Okay. All right. I apologize for that. I didn't mean to be offensive in any way.
No, you weren't. I was just letting you know, like, that's where you start. It's not with bringing it to a black person or anyone that's non-white. It's literally starting within your community and then, you know, connecting with people who have already been working through this process.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you. As only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. If you're over on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and you would like to actually debate me, you don't have to leave where you are. The only thing that you have to do is click that the link in that pinned message. And it will bring you right up so you can debate me. Again, you don't even have to leave the app where you are. W's in the chat for a hype train. There's a hype train over on Twitch. I'm not sure what that means, but W's in chat for Patty, who became a subscriber over on Twitch. W's in the chat for, oh, we hit the bit goal because of One Mighty Pen. One Mighty Pen sent 100 bits. So W's in the chat for the Twitchy. W's in the chat for Lockhart for the $5 super chat to say, yeah, I totally agree and understand what you meant by regarding the squatting tape. Just only have 150 characters. Yeah, no, all good. I appreciate you, Lockhart. W's in chat for Lockhart. Again, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Again, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. We're at the point where we've come to the conclusion that a lot of people really don't care. They don't care about other people. They don't care about our country. They don't care about marginalized communities. They don't care about a lot of shit. And the people who don't care, it boils down to this list: Republicans. Now, it's easy to say Republicans don't care about like all the shit that everything that I have on the background, nothing but power, our country, white supremacy, black people, that all can fall under the bubble of like Republicans not caring, right? But I'm trying to be hyper specific and talk about the Epstein files. Now, if you're a Trump supporter or a Republican, you want to talk about anything else as far as like the things that you quote unquote care about when it comes to our country, sure, we can have that conversation, but you don't care. But then moderate Democrats, you guys aren't absolved. You aren't absolved. If you're someone who tends to be in the middle of the road, someone who believes that being a moderate Democrat that reaches across the aisle, you don't care about our country. You're someone who is happy with the current destruction of our country because you're not actively fighting the Republicans who are dismantling the entire structures of our country. That's a you problem. You're a professional victim. Oh, guess what, Bub? I'm going to send you a request. If I'm a professional victim, then now you've been victimized because I just muted you. And the only way that anyone's going to hear you say anything else is if you get up here and say it with your chest. Like, I don't give a fuck what you have to say in the comments. If you're not going to say it with your chest, then you don't get to say it at all. You can either come up here or you can hate from the cheap seats. I really don't care. Genuinely, I don't care. And of course, you didn't request up. So you can't be a Republican and care about people or this country. Nope. Bradley, I'm sending you a request. Are you a Republican? Are you saying that you care about people or this country? Because if you're a Republican, hell no, you don't care about people or this country. Absolutely not. If you're someone that still calls yourself a Republican today, there is no way in hell you care about people or this country. Bradley, I sent you a request. Yeah. Silence. I don't do the back and forth in the comments. I also don't do keyboard warriors, thumb thugs. Like, I have no interest in any of that. So if you are someone that has something to say, then get up here and say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, because I refuse to let you run your mouth in the comments. That's not how it works. Did Bradley run? Santana, mark my words, when I get out of class, I'm debating you. Square up. Come catch this fade then. Huh. Like, I don't know what you think this is. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Where did Bradley go? Hold on. Did he reply again? He didn't reply again, right? Yeah. No, he didn't reply again. Yeah. Again, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. W's in the chat for Nisa. W's in the chat for Nisa. Nisa sent a $5 donation saying, good morning, twin. What up, twin? Love your Jubilee. It's amazing to see how you've had so many accomplishments since I started watching you. It's been about 2 months. Just loving you, giving your flowers. Nisa, thank you so much. You are absolutely fucking amazing. I appreciate the hell out of you. We still got a lot more to do and a lot more to go. So what's happening with, where is it? Katie Bug, where's it at? Hold on. What did she say? Because Katie Bug requested up, but then she dropped out. Where'd she go? Hold on. Oh, Katie Bug, if you like, I saw you coming here. I sent you a request. I'm just gonna go ahead and mute you. Like, you started to come up here, but then you ran. Like, you know, you got some bass in your voice in the chat, but you won't put the bass in your voice up here. Like, FYI, and this is not just for Trump supporters, but people who genuinely disagree with things on the background. My chat is not your safe space. Like, you have to understand that you have to get up here and say it. Howdy, partner. I'm not going to let you run your mouth in my comments. That's not how things work. And I'm perfectly fine with letting you say whatever you have to say, but you're not going to say it in the comments. Katie Bug, I sent you a request. Yeah, I see you haven't accepted that request. The people who've had the most to say in the comments continue to run from the actual debate. It's weird. It's weird.
Hey.
Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I just don't understand the moderate Dems. I was on your live for the deconstruction thing, like the first day you did it. I don't know if you remember me at all, but like, yeah.
I think so. Give me 2 seconds. Let me finish thanking a couple of people, and then we can get to it. W's in the chat for Jessica. And Jessica sent a $5 donation. Thank you for giving me the tools to stand up against racism in my own community. Recently, I had a conflict with my coworker who said their client, a client who was a person of color, was racist to white people. And then I went off about the definition of racism and how that's not possible. You're the best. Jessica, no, you're the best. That's how you fucking do it. W's in the chat for Jessica, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Just like W's in the chat for Eugene, who sent a $1.99 donation, said W Santana, W. And W's in the chat for Jenna for the $10 super chat to say, love you, Santana. I fight white supremacy by not allowing people to be in my vicinity who speak comments of race and anti-Semitism. Ways don't have safe spaces and will not breathe life into those words around me. I know that's right. Fucking fight. W's in the chat. Really quick. I think it's I'm sorry. I can't say your username. How do you say your username?
It's Serenemies.
Say it again for me.
Serenemies.
Serenemies.
Sure.
Can I call you S?
Sure.
Okay. S, do you disagree? Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I do disagree with something on the background, but you know, I'm not a Trump supporter.
Okay. Have I talked to you before?
I don't think so.
Is your family independently wealthy?
No.
Are you lying to me?
No. You can literally see on my page that I post like Marxist content. I literally scanned like Capital for MIA.
What do you disagree with?
Specifically in BLACA/FBA, I don't really see the issue with FBA. And
are you black?
I am black. I'm Surinamese. That's a Caribbean country. So
yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean I wasn't saying that. I was just asking if you were black. All right, give me a second here. And I think you're lying to me, but hold on for a moment. All right. I think it's Araya. Is that how you say it?
Aria.
Aria. Apologize. So you said you wanted to have a better understanding when it came to moderate Democrats.
Yeah.
Okay. So the premise of moderate Democrats is they're so middle of the road. They just want the status quo. They want things to get back to, you know, where they were under the quote unquote Obama era. But they're not really interested in the progression of people. They're not really interested in the liberation of people. They don't really care about dismantling any of the harmful structures that are currently in place. They just want to live a comfortable life. And so since the only thing that they're fighting for is comfortability, then they continue to allow fascists to harm everyday Americans because they don't have anything that they're really interested in standing on. So if you're not actively fighting for the overall betterment of all people, and in multiple ways, if you think that there's a need to somehow reach across the aisle and work with people on the left, then you don't really care about our country because work with people on the right, and you don't really care about our country because it's shown that people who are staunchly Republicans are not trying to do anything that's beneficial for our country.
That makes more sense. Thank you for that. Okay. I hope you have a good day. Thank you for helping me understand what that meant and like what you mean by putting that up. And everybody support Santana. Awesome. He's better than Dean and Barker. Way better.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. I don't know how to draw.
I got you. W's in the chat for D Ground for the $5 super chat to say, hey Santana, today is my born day. Happy birthday, bro. Just spread some Gullah Geechee love from SC. Hey, I from the Chuck. You from the Chuck? Where you from? W's in the chat for D Graham and happy birthday. I hope you have an amazing born day. W's in the chat. Again, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Yeetus, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Oh man, I voted for Donald Trump.
Okay, you kind of, it's kind of windy in your background. Is there any way that you could do anything?
Yeah, is it better now?
A little bit. S, I'm gonna drop you because I think you're lying. Like I know for a fact that I'll talk to you, so I don't want to talk to you again. All right. So you're a Trump supporter. Which point do you disagree with the most on the background? But just FYI, are you planning on slurring?
No, man, I ain't never slurred.
Okay, because people in the chat are saying that you slur a lot. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, but like, I'm just gonna say, please don't slur. Okay. I mean, we can talk about anything else, but I would prefer just to actually be able to talk to you without having to kick you.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Okay. What point do you disagree with most on the background? Would you like to start?
I guess let's start on the files, man.
Okay. So are you someone that believes that the Republicans care about the Epstein files?
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, not the Epstein files, but the survivors of the Epstein files.
Yeah, I mean, I think if the parents would have protected them, they never would have been in those files, right? I mean, it's the parents' job to protect them. If they weren't out there chasing them dollars, man, they wouldn't be in the files either, right? They wouldn't, I need money, I'm gonna go give them a massage. Those are choices you make on your own, right? You know what I mean? So I think they put themselves in that position. And
so is it only the burden on the parents?
Well, no, it's the burden on the people that are in it, the victims too, the so-called victims.
Wait, so the victims are an issue?
Did they get paid for services?
Wait, hold on. So just to make sure that I get this correct, you said so far you said the people that you put the blame on are the parents of the children, and then the actual children. Those, right? Just to make sure so far. But there's no actual there's no like blame that you're placing on the billionaires who were raping and eating kids.
Well, I mean, they put themselves in that position, man. They didn't.
That's just a direct question.
I mean, if they weren't chasing the money, then they wouldn't have been put in that position.
Can you answer that question for me? Like, we can talk about everything else, but I need you to answer this question first. The question is, do you put no blame on the billionaires that were raping and eating children?
Well, I put less blame on them.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. I'm not going to talk to you. Hey, why the fuck would I platform that? Absolutely not. Absolutely the fuck not. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hi, Katie. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. I am not a Trump supporter. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry.
All right.
You can bring me down, please.
Thank you. Oh shit. Hey, let's fucking go, Philip. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Philip for the fucking TikTok universe. Let's fucking go. Fucking W's in the chat, Philip. Holy shit. That is wild. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I am absolutely not a Trump supporter. I just have one thing that I completely disagree with, that Democrats and Republicans are just a government hoax. I think that no one cares about the Epstein.
About the Democrat.
Well, you said moderate Dems, our country, Republicans. Like it's literally about Republicans and Democrats. That's kind of my issue with it, is because both of them are included in it. We should be protecting the children. We should be protecting the children.
Hey, that's not the point on the background.
What was the point then, I guess?
The point on the backgrounds are the points that are on the background. If you specifically disagree with a specific point, then I need you to give me your debate as far as why you disagree with it without saying the other side.
No, I actually think that there's no size. I think it's all the government is trying to cover up all of it. So I guess I should not be here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Again, if you are friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. If you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and link to in the bio. Santana speaks for you. It's the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Let's see here. I don't know if this person is going to load. Also, guys, make sure you hit that follow button. We're on our way to 200,000 followers. So please, please, please make sure you hit that follow button. We're on our way to 200,000 followers. Look up at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I'm not a Trump supporter, but the whole the Epstein survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I watched the documentary and some other little stuff, and they were saying that these victims was recruiting their friends to go be victims as well. So some of them ain't really victims. They're like co-conspirators, like they're in on it too. Because if you're coming to come and get me and I'm your friend to go take me to be assaulted, and you know this is what's happening, like some of them people ain't victims.
Do you think there's situations where people who are being victimized look to actually bring other people in, coerce other people in to lessen their victimization?
No, I wouldn't do that.
I'm not saying would you do that. I'm saying, do you understand the reasoning behind that in order for survival?
I really don't.
Okay.
I really don't.
So your entire premise is
the man was saying earlier, these victims, they have a brain. They can't be that slow or stupid.
Please don't use SLOW. That's an ableist term. That's fine. I'm just letting you know SLOW is an ableist term. We don't use that here on my platform.
Okay,
and like the point that I'm trying to get across, right, is that you're sitting here blaming victims for.
I'm not blaming victims. I'm just saying they keep swearing that everybody's a victim when in reality you're a criminal as well because you're recruiting people for them.
Do you know what Stockholm Syndrome is?
I really don't.
Okay.
I know what common sense is.
What is common sense?
To know better, to know what's happening ain't right.
Where did common sense come from?
To know that
where did common sense come? Where's the term common sense come from?
What it is, that's
right.
What it is.
But you're sitting here and you leaning on common sense.
So you telling me everybody don't have common sense?
I'm telling you that if you lean on common sense, then you don't know anything. The actual premise of quote unquote common sense was derived from the term of the common knowledge of everyone. It's basically just like the basic information. It spoke to a lack of intelligence. It spoke to people who didn't think, that didn't critically. Don't cut me off, please. Thank you.
I mean,
it speaks to the fact that people who don't critically think or push past to look for more meaning in anything, they just accept what is commonly known. I.e., there was a point in time where people accept commonly that the earth was flat. And so people just assumed that there was a point that we could fall off the edge of the earth. That was common sense. So when you say it's common sense, you sitting here saying that, well, this is common sense, it speaks to the lack of you actually digging into the Epstein files, lack of you trying to understand what was happening, the coercion, the manipulation, and the overall racketeering that occurred when it comes to the amount of billionaires that took advantage of people.
Again, I see this stuff. I'm not going to go deep into no stuff because it is what it is. Like everybody in the world goes through all of this, but they paying more attention. But they're paying more attention.
Why wouldn't you dig deep into it?
When it's a lot of
you keep trying to steamroll it. Stop right there. You're trying to steamroll and get to some other point without actually accounting for what you said.
Epstein, it's other people out here.
Hey. My question is, you said that you wouldn't dig deep. The question is, why wouldn't you dig deep?
I could come out me now.
Yes. Why wouldn't you dig deep? You said you wouldn't dig deep.
I'm not gonna dig deep because they're not digging deep on all the other missing children and other children that have been exploited and it's in human trafficking. But y'all worried about the Epstein. I'm sorry. I'm sure these people that's in the Epstein files are the same people that's human trafficking a lot of other different children. Like what? Come on now.
Then if that's the case, then why wouldn't you want to hold those people accountable?
To that.
Hey,
but
Dark,
it's a whole lot of missing people.
Dark, why wouldn't you want to actually dig deeper into that then? If you're sitting here saying that the people, I'm just going to finish my sentence, please and thank you. If you're saying that the people that are actually in the Epstein files are the people that are causing other people to go missing, then why wouldn't you want to directly address those people to protect not only the people that were victims of the Epstein files, but other potential victims that are occurring throughout the world?
Okay, well, if that was the case, they should have been turned this on a long time ago. It didn't just start with them.
Okay, so what does that have to do with actually holding these people
accountable? Make sense, y'all. And then these people been doing it y'all said for so long.
I think that you think that this is just an opportunity for you to monologue instead of actually engaging in a conversation.
I really don't care. I don't.
Okay, if you don't care, if you don't care, then why would you come up here to debate something if you didn't care about it? Like, I'm so serious at this point. If you're not going to actually engage, then you can leave. Stop.
They're criminal.
Stop. If you're not going to engage, listen. If you're not going to actually engage, are you an adult? Serious question. The people who, for some reason, say, "Oh, I don't care about this thing," but you came up here to debate this thing, that doesn't make fucking sense. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Only requests up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only requests up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. I think blaming victims is so fucking gross, or blaming survivors. Like, to have two people in a row come up and say that speaks to the fact that, like, these people are fucking sick. Like, it's gross and it's sick. Like, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. W's in the chat for D Graham for the $1 donation saying, "Hey, Santana from Denmark." And from Denmark, okay, I know Denmark. W's in the chat for Anthony for the $5 donation saying, "What is with the blame the kids people today?" I don't know what the fuck is happening there. They're looking to blame anyone but their false god. They suck at being humans. You know what? A lot of people suck at being humans, and it's super interesting and it's super weird. I don't even really know what the fuck is going on. Like, seriously, this is a problem. This is a massive problem. W's in the chat for the donos, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, like Basketball G, who sent a $4.99 super chat to say, "Imagine if a victim told their groomer, nope, you're going to go recruit other kids. Golly gee, thank you for telling me your boundaries, child." Exactly. Like, I don't even know what the fuck is happening anymore. Like, I'm so confused as far as, like, what world these people live in. Like, and I'm just being completely honest. These people are sick. Like, that's really what it is. Like, these people are absolutely fucking sick. And I'll say this really quick. I'm going to get on my soapbox just for half a second. Like, I know I don't debate like Donald Trump and E. Jean Carroll, right? Because Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll. That's not up for debate. But people will try to debate that, and they'll try to play semantics. They'll try to play semantics and say, well, it wasn't rape because he wasn't criminally convicted. It wasn't rape because it says that she was sexually assaulted. It wasn't rape because she doesn't remember every single detail. And the point that I refuse to engage with is people who are running coverage for a rapist. Like, you just don't have to do that. Like, you literally don't have to do that. Like, the point that there's so many things, whether you talk about, like, they say, oh, Donald Trump sexually exploited women and children. And then the point they'll go to as well, how do you know they were children? Does it make it any better if he was just sexually exploiting women? Like, does that make it better in your mind if he's only sexually exploiting women and not children? When they say, well, you know, Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll. Well, no, he was civilly held liable for sexual assault, not rape. What's the difference for you? What's the difference? What's the notable difference between rape and sexual assault for you? And they try to justify those things. And I refuse to do that. And April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, right? And more than any time in this month, I refuse to let you re-victimize survivors. Like, that's fucking weird that people will sit there and put the blame on like survivors. With this topic on the background, I had no idea that people would come up and actually try to blame the people that were survivors. I thought they would try to say, well, Democrats don't care about the Epstein files, or Trump did everything that he could do. I had no fucking idea that these people were going to come up here and start saying, well, it's actually the kids. Like, what the fuck is happening? Hi, are you a Trump supporter?
Fuck you, pussies. Fuck you, pussy. You're a bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga.
What did that do? Like, your friend chuckled in the background. Did that make you popular? You guys are so fucking weird. I truly mean this. Like, people are so fucking weird. People are weird and disappointing all at the same fucking time. Weird and disappointing. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Hello?
Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Oh, you know what? I got this message saying to click the button, but I didn't know if that was you requesting me or me requesting. I didn't know. Was that done in error?
Yeah, that must have been you requesting.
Okay, I am so sorry then. I'm going to have to let that go because I agree with everything you say, so I would be considered friendly.
All
so
right,
I gotta hang up now. I'm so sorry. Bye. Bye.
Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. America doesn't really care. A lot of people really don't care. Republicans, they don't care about Epstein survivors. They don't care about our country. They don't care about a lot of shit. White men specifically, they don't care about anything but power. Moderate Democrats don't care about our country. White women don't care about white supremacy. And BLAGA, FBA, you guys don't care about black people, period. Nigger. I know, nigger. No one gives a fuck about you doing that, you fucking weirdo. Like, what the fuck? Like, what do you think that actually did? Nigger. Fucking idiot, you incel. Your dad should have left you in a sock, honestly. I'm like, the shit is so fucking mind-blowing. It's so fucking mind-blowing because these incels, these fucking incels keep coming up here and they do this because they think like, oh, I'm just gonna do this because you know what? It's funny. Ha 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 ha. Like, first and foremost, be fucking original. Secondly, like, no one cares about your weak ass racism. You guys are fucking.
Yo, I came to hate, but you're a G, bro. You're a G. You're a fucking G.
Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. Me, it's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. W's in the chat for Jelly, who sent a $2 donation saying, I'm late to the Rumble, but I want to remind people that we now have public information that we can push law enforcements to address. Keep pushing. Absolutely. W's in the chat. Thank you so much, Jelly, for that $2 donation. W's in the chat for decaf latte. I think that's how you say it. For the $10 super chat to say it's about power imbalance. They preyed on vulnerable women and girls by promising them everything. They recruited friends because they were extorted into it. Women need to uplift other women. Big facts. W's in chat for Mr. James, who sent a $1.99 super chat to say, "What the hell is that?" I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. What the hell is what? W's in the chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Till Shark, get up here, you fucking coward. You come in my live every single day. You follow me. I'm muting you. If you don't get up here and fucking talk now, I'm gonna block you, you fucking weirdo coward. I sent you a request. Get up here. This guy is so obsessed with me. He's so obsessed with me. You come in my live every single day, every single fucking day. And you get up here. You say, oh, you still debating Trump supporters? No, I'll debate anybody. And right now I'm calling you out. Accept that request. I know you see it. It's on your screen. You come in my live every single day and do the same weird shit. The same weird shit. I'm so fucking tired of mediocre white men and their fucking white privilege. Get up here. Till Shark, I am calling you out. Get up here. Not gonna click that accept button? You got 10 seconds or I'm blocking you. Like either you can accept the request and you can come up, or I'm just going to block you. You got 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can go ahead and fuck off. Like, I'm so fucking tired of these mediocre white men. Like, fuck out of here. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only 1 coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. W's in the chat for Alice for the $3.86 donation, saying they believe Trump when he says what he says about policy or when he gives a speech, but they don't trust and believe when he admits to sexual exploitation on Howard Stern. P.S. Loved your Jubilee. Thank you. I've never seen the bottom half. I didn't realize how tall you are. Yeah, love from the UK. Yeah, 6'3.5". Volcano's super tall too. That's interesting. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for that. W's in the chat for Donna for the $10 donation. Saying thank you for your intelligent response to the relentless insanity. I try. I really do. W's in the chat for Lily for the $5 donation, saying sorry for the harassment and trolling that goes on with these streams. Respect your patience and commitment to no BS. Been rough with some family health issues on top of the world being on fire. Gives me hope that know that people out there are fighting the good fight. Well, first and foremost, I hope that you're taking care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Like your actual health is one of the most important things that you can actually engage in. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself mentally and physically. Yeah, this Arc Raiders something Lord, like I'm just gonna keep blocking the same weirdos keep coming back on different spam accounts, and I just keep blocking them, and I'm just gonna keep blocking you. Like you weirdos, go find something, go fucking touch grass. You sound like you're supposed to be in school. If you're on spring break, and the best thing that you can do is come into TikTok live and spam slurs, like you need a fucking life. At the very least, go play some video games, go to a skate park, like go do something. Like go get outside, fucking find something to do. You like coming into a TikTok live and spamming slurs just so you can giggle. Like what the fuck are we doing? W's in the chat for Lily for that. W's in the chat for John. John sent a $20 donation. John said the problem IMHO is for most of the human history, a smart person could know everything a person could know. A lot of folks didn't / can't adapt to the exponential growth of knowledge and realize they're idiots, or people who don't know that they don't know what they don't know. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, like it's okay with not knowing everything, and it's also okay with admitting that you don't know something, but it is something dangerously wrong with pretending as if you do know everything. That's a problem. Like pretending that you do know everything is absolutely a problem. W's in the chat for Mr. James Bond Tube, who sent a $1.99 super chat to say Charlie Kirk disciples are the most uneducated. Yeah, because they believe the rhetoric. W's in chat for Eugene for the $1.99 super chat to say people who slur ruin the vibe. Yeah, like seriously. W's in chat for Chip for the $5 super chat to say punks jump up and get beat down. That's true. W's in the chat for I think it's Kana Wilcox for the $2 euro. Say hello from England. You Park and Dean are great. Thank you, friend. W's in chat for Tess for the $20 super chat to say to the therapy bill for having to deal with these callers, bots, and trolls. Thank you for always doing the hard work. Yeah, listen. Therapy for me is Wednesday at 2 p.m. So I cannot wait for my therapy session because I need it. I need my therapy session. W's in the chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and link in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. It's the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Holy fuck, Liz, thank you so much for the fucking unicorn. That was wild. W's in the chat for Liz. Holy shit for the unicorn. W's in the chat for Liz. That's fucking crazy. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you are friendly, tap the screen, share the live. There's a lot of people that don't care. And I think that the quicker we come to the realization that people don't actually care, the quicker that we can go on about our business. Understanding that Republicans, they don't care about Epstein survivors. White men, they don't care about anything but power. Moderate Democrats, they don't care about our country. White women don't care about white supremacy. And BLAGA, FBA, you guys don't care about black people. So if you disagree with any of that, get in the box. Get in the box. If you disagree with any of that, get in the box. One thing that I want to talk about really quickly before or while we're waiting to see if someone has the testicular fortitude to actually join up is the fact that Donald Trump is beefing with the Pope. Like, think about that statement. The current sitting president of the United States of America is beefing with the Pope, and not only beefing with the Pope, but has the Pope saying, "I'm not scared." Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do have a question about the Epstein thing.
Are you a Republican?
No.
Okay,
but I just
so I don't think
my question
that would actually
my question would
be your topic. But like, do you disagree with anything on the background?
I do disagree with the statement you just made about moderate Democrats not caring about our country. But
okay,
I have
tell
a question.
Me why you disagree with that.
That's just a kind of an odd statement. I mean, obviously
That's a
there's
factual statement, but tell me why you say that you disagree with it.
I think that moderate Democrats are pretty connected to what's going on in our political atmosphere, and they do care. It's just that they're willing to reach across the aisles to make deals. I don't understand. Okay, I really wanted to ask you a question about the Epstein thing, but I mean,
I'm not going to allow you. So, like, we might as well do this one.
I mean, for me personally, I think I'm trying to start the dialogue of trying to oust our leadership. I think that
you mean the Democratic leadership?
Correct.
And are you starting with those moderate Democrats? Because it sounded like you just decided to cape for moderate Democrats.
I guess I just don't understand how if someone's willing to work across the aisle, that makes them not care about our country. Especially those in Congress who represent us.
Sure. Question for you. Do you know what the ACA is?
The healthcare bill?
The Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you know when the ACA was put into effect?
That would have been Obama. That would have been probably around, what was that, 2012?
2010.
Okay.
2010. So it's been 16 years since the ACA was in place. And that was the massive piece of legislation that was championed by the Democratic Party. Do you know what the intention of the ACA was when it was actually constructed?
To allow Americans who can't afford a full-blown, premium health insurance plan to pick a government plan that would help subsidize, any cost?
No, it's supposed to be a stepping stone to get us to. It's supposed to be a stepping stone to get us to universal health care. Have we made it to that point yet?
No, we have not.
Why?
I would say that's because Republicans always shoot it down.
Oh, what has the Democratic Party done to actually progress the ACA?
I mean, I know every single time that there's a bill that's are presented on the floor to repeal it, Democrats are always there to, not allow it to happen.
Yeah,
obviously they had to work with John.
I'm not saying what have they done to ensure that it's not repealed. I'm saying what have they done to actually progress it?
Are you talking about just introducing? Are you talking about like having them introduce more bills to get to, like you said, it was a stepping stone. So you want them to create the pathway to universal healthcare. In that case, I would have to take a look to see what bills have been presented to do that.
The point that I'm making is this is the greatest example of moderate Democrats. The fact that there's a piece of legislation that was supposed to lead to greater outcomes for the American people, but the most that they've been willing to do is stop the Republicans from doing more harm, right? And so the fact that moderate Democrats feel a need to quote unquote reach across the aisle, they're not trying to do anything that's progressive that would actually benefit the whole of the country. They just want to continue to hold status quo, right? The fact that the ACA has, while the Republicans have tried to repeal it over 60 times, the Democratic Party, who has had power in multitudes of ways since the actual passing of the ACA, has done nothing to actually advance it. Speaks to the fact that moderate Democrats don't really care about the country. They care about status quo. They care about holding on to power, but they don't care about doing anything beneficial for everyday Americans. And that's a problem, because if you're just going to stand up and say, well, I'm fighting the Republican Party, and that's all that you got, then you're part of the problem.
I mean, I guess we're kind of glossing over the fact that obviously Trump won the presidency in 2016, so there's not much we could have done.
What does that have to do with 2016?
He was president, and I think I'd have to take a look.
Who was president in 2021?
That would have been Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that he was probably taking a lot of his time trying to figure out how to undo a lot of the stuff that his predecessor had done.
That's fine, but like again, I mean that doesn't absolve the fact that like moderate Democrats have been woefully irresponsible. What you know about the bipartisan border bill, the Langford bill?
I know of it. I know it's been brought up a lot. I haven't looked into it.
Yeah. Joe Biden actually started working on a border bill in February of 2021. He was sworn in January of 2021. And he reached across the aisle and allowed Republicans to shape this bill and work through an actual comprehensive bill that got all the way to the finish line. And then by one pick up a phone call, and Donald Trump was able to completely undo 2 years of work that was done and led by Republicans, just because he had control of the Republican Party and they were willing to bend the knee to him. So the point that I'm getting across is that like Joe Biden spent all that time working on a piece of legislation that would have completely reshaped how we did things at the border. But he went the route as far as trying to quote unquote work across the aisle, and the Republican Party stabbed him in the back. The point that I'm trying to really drill home is thinking that we need to work with the Republican Party when the Republican Party has shown that, one, they have no interest in leading, they have no interest in governing, and they also have no interest in passing any type of legislation for the American people. It's a fool's errand. Continue to try to work with Republicans that don't want anything that doesn't benefit their donors or the ultra wealthy. That's a fool's errand. So why would we keep trying to reach across the aisle with them?
Well, like you said, it was the Republic, or it was the previous president that picked up the phone and bombed that legislation. I mean, I think that has to. I would put more blame on the Republicans for that than the Democrats.
Why?
What do you mean why? Because
why would you put that on the Republican? No, because you know who Cat Williams is.
Yes.
Okay. You ever heard him talking about a tiger, the tiger that escaped from the zoo?
I think I have probably.
So Cat Williams has this one joke, and it goes, there was a tiger that escaped from the shelter within a zoo, and the tiger ended up eating people, and they had to actually put the tiger down. And everyone was being interviewed afterwards, and they was like, "Oh, this is insane! I can't believe this actually happened. The tiger wasn't like bad. The tiger just must have went crazy. The tiger went crazy." And Cat Williams said, "No, the tiger didn't go crazy. The tiger went tiger." Right? And so the point that I'm trying to get home with that is, you want to blame the Republicans, but the Republicans didn't do anything except what the Republicans do. The blame that you want to put on Republicans for shutting down the bipartisan infrastructure bill, I'm sorry, not infrastructure, but border bill, like that's lazy, because that's to be expected, because that's what the Republican Party has done. If you take a look at the amount of legislation that since the Republican Party has held the House, they have passed less and less and less actual legislation. Like they have a track record over the last 60 years of not doing anything beneficial for the average American. So the Democratic Party is supposed to be the counter party, the power, or the party of progressives and doing things for the people. And so again, expecting the Republican Party to do anything except cause problems is a issue on our side, and we have to blame ourselves for that. We can't blame them for like going tiger. The tiger went tiger.
Okay. I understand where you're coming across, but I mean, even looking back at, you said the ACA, that passage, that was a bipartisan bill. I mean, Republicans fought it, but a lot of them were persuaded to in support.
What did they do to that bill?
It depends on state by state. I know I know state by state. What
provision did the Republican Party add to that bill?
Oh, let me think here. I know it doesn't have to do with oh man, I know it wasn't good, and I know that the Democrats agreed to it. You're gonna have to remind me.
The Republicans added the poison pill that penalized people who didn't have insurance. That was the only reason that provision was added to the ACA, is because members of the Republican Party said that they would filibuster the actual ACA if the poison pill was not added to the ACA. So like, even when you talk about that was quote unquote bipartisan, no, it wasn't. Like, it was the Democratic Party allowing the Republicans to dictate to them and cause more harm to the American people, because literally there was no reason to add that provision into the ACA. There was no reason to actually say, if you don't have insurance, then we're going to penalize you. And the reason why we know that there's no actual reason for that, because it actually what is it, fucking sunset, and now that's no longer part of the ACA.
The poison pill is no longer the part of the ACA?
Yes, you don't have that penalty anymore.
If I remember correctly, though, Obama somewhat advocated for that too, didn't he? Because he said basically we would need everybody on some type of insurance, so the younger people pay for the older generations. I remember him saying
Obama didn't advocate for it, but he accepted it because he accepted the terms of the Republican Party. The point that I'm getting across is, you still haven't defined to me how working with the Republican Party is something that's necessary, when every single example, every single turn that I've given you, the Republican Party has been willing to either, one, stab the Democratic Party in the back, or two, go out of their way to overwhelmingly harm Americans. Another example, the government shutdown that occurred in 2025, the longest government shutdown in United States history. Do you remember what the holdup was for that actual government shutdown?
I do not.
It was the fact that the subsidies for the ACA that overwhelmingly benefited all Americans and was overwhelmingly positively reviewed by all Americans. The Republicans did not want to extend those actual subsidies for the ACA. And the Democratic Party knew that this was the only way that they were going to get any type of traction as far as being able to force them to the table to extend those subsidies. And do you remember what happened with the negotiation and what opened the government back up?
Didn't Schumer buckle?
Why?
I would have to take a look. I don't know.
The thing that they got, the 8 Democratic senators that crossed the line and agreed to reopen the government without any assurances, the only assurance that they got was that they were told that they would be given an opportunity to vote on passing subsidies for the ACA. And they did get the opportunity to vote on the passing of the subsidies of the ACA, which they didn't pass because they didn't get any type of tangible agreement. They just got okay, we'll hear you out, which again, the fact that the ACAs weren't extended remove about 7 million Americans off of their health care while raising the healthcare costs for all Americans. The premiums for healthcare raised across the board. It didn't matter if you were on the ACA or if you had private healthcare. It raised the premiums across the board, making healthcare even more affordable for so many Americans while kicking Americans off of their healthcare. And it's all because the moderate Democrats thought it was a good decision to take the word of the Republican Party. And you know what? The tiger didn't go crazy in that situation. The tiger went tiger. They have a history of doing that. So again, can you please explain to me why the moderate Democrats think it's a good idea to continue to reach across the aisle and work with the Republican Party, who has shown that they have no interest in actually doing anything for the American people, who don't hold their word, and who will stab the Democrats in the back? Why wouldn't they lock in, buckle down, be willing to face any of the consequences necessary to bend them to their will? Why wouldn't they do that?
Because then you're just going to see this back and forth anytime the power switches hands. I mean,
like that already.
Ultimately, what I'm hearing is you basically.
Wait, it's like that already.
Ultimately, what I'm hearing is
don't try to skate past that point. It's like that already. It's literally like that already. So no, you saying that that's not true. Nothing new is going to happen. It's already like that.
No, I get that. You've said that 3 times now. What I'm saying is it sounds like you want the Democrats to start acting like the Republican Party right now.
Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. I do. And when I say this, and I've been very much on board and very adamant about this, I'm willing to lie to stupid people to do good things for them. Period. If I have to lie to people and tell them that if you vote for me, I will lower every single cost that you have, and then as soon as they vote for me, I force universal health care on them, I will do that. If I have to lie to them and tell them, hey, if you vote for me, gas will be 99 cents, and then I fucking shore up food insecurities or housing insecurities, I don't care. I'm willing to lie to stupid, selfish people in order to do good things. The Republican Party lies to people to do harmful shit. So why can't we lie to them to do shit that will benefit all Americans? I'm so sick and tired of this system where the Democrats think that they have to play respectability politics and the Republicans don't give a fuck how the Republicans think they're fucking Eddie Guerrero. Lie, cheat, steal. That's how they fucking think they're Latino heat. That's all they do is lie, cheat, and steal. I'm willing to lie to stupid people to do good things for them.
So then are you, do you think Obama was just a moderate Democrat then too?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't like him either.
I love Barack Obama for where he was in that moment of time, but today Barack Obama is a moderate Democrat. Absolutely.
Okay, I mean
that's why when people sit here and say, "Oh, if Donald Trump ran for a 3rd term, that's fine. He could do that. We would just run Barack Obama and he would win." those type of people are fucking dangerous, because if you want to go back to the time that we were before Trump, then again, you don't want actual progression for people. You want comfortability. And I'm not interested in comfortability. I'm interested in progression for all people, especially Black people. But more than anything, I want people to progress. I want liberation for people. I believe in social safety nets. I believe in the ability for all people to live a good life. And that's not what it was in 2016. And it damn sure wouldn't be what it would be if moderate Democrats have control of power again.
I mean, like I said, I that's why I advocate for bringing down the leadership as of right now, and trying to erase the legacy Pelosi had on the Democratic Party. But then, and there are definitely players in line that I would put in leadership. But
like who?
Like who? Let me think here. I mean, Tallarico, I like him.
Another moderate Democrat, yeah. A comfortable moderate Democrat, a white Christian man that doesn't move the pendulum. The only thing that he does is get back to where we were, where white liberal people feel more comfortable in this world because they're not the victims. James Tallarico does nothing to benefit the struggles of any other marginalized communities. Not Black people, not queer people, not people with disabilities. He does nothing to move the pendulum to progression for anyone that's not a cishet white man. And that's the scope that you're thinking from right now. You're thinking from the scope of trying to get back to comfortability and back to that cishet white man stage. And I don't want that. I want progression for everybody, especially the least amongst us.
And I agree with that. I mean, I think we're going to have a chance here. We're flipping seats here left and right every time there's a special election. And hopefully with
that's not about the Democratic Party.
Are you saying it's in response to Trump?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem that I have. And I've been on record with saying this. The problem that I have is that the Democratic Party is going to fall ass backwards into power. And when I say they're going to fall ass backwards into power, I mean that because Donald Trump has been so overwhelmingly harmful, that Donald Trump and his administration have harmed so many people, that people are going to show up in mass to actually vote against Donald Trump, not because the Democratic Party is offering anything beneficial for everyday Americans. It's because Orange Man is bad. And when they fall ass backwards into power, without having to do anything at all, they're going to revert to the comfortability that they've always had. They're going to revert back to the same things that they've done. And we're just going to be in that cycle of going back to Republican leadership after 4 years. Like, that's why our country continues to, you talk about why the country can't have any type of progression. It's because we keep going back and forth through this actual cycle of Republican, Democrat, while the Republican Party has not passed any legislation in over the last 60 years that benefits everyday Americans more than the ultra wealthy. But they can lie and they can brag, and they lie and they brag, and people believe the bullshit. Everyone thinks that for some reason the economy does better under Republicans, where if you look at the last 60 years of history, that is not true. 7 recessions have been started under Republican leadership in the last 60 years. The job growth better under Democratic leadership. The actual stock market better under Democratic leadership. The real medium wage better under Democratic leadership. But the Republican Party lies to people and tell them that they're the ones doing this stuff because they believe in small government, less taxes. They believe in the everyday American, and all of that shit is lies. But the Democratic Party, they don't really care about combating the lies and actually doing anything. They just want to say, hey, we'll hold the line. And I'm so sick and tired of moderate Democrats saying, hold the line. Fucking charge.
Okay, well, all I can say is I'm very fearful of what the Republican Party is going to transform into after Trump is gone. Obviously, they're not going to have somebody that's going to be the moral shield for them. And I understand that you want them to act the way he does, and in certain circumstances, I would advocate for that. But I would say that acting in the same manner that he has done as far as legislation goes, they can only turn uglier if they regain power.
You know
they can
why?
only turn uglier. I mean, this is.
I mean,
shit's bad right now.
You know why they keep regaining power? Because Democrats are weak. That's why. That's why. The fact that Joe Biden appointed Merrick Garland, who tiptoed his way around Donald Trump and didn't hold him accountable for trying to overthrow the United States government. And the fact that Donald Trump won a presidential election and Democrats decided, you know what, he's the president, we cannot hold him accountable. Because it would be insane to have a sitting United States president in jail. Donald Trump was treasonous and should have never been able to run for president again. But the Democratic Party were so worried about the backlash from Trump supporters and then the optics of prosecuting a former president that they allowed someone who tried to overthrow our entire government to regain power because stupid people support him. Like, you're sitting here and saying that they're going to be more radicalized or whatever. Like, they're already radicalized. We got fucking Nazis running our government. And I'm not being hyperbolous when I say that. We have actual Nazis running our government, extremists, white supremacists running our government. And you might not be so worried about it, but me as a black man, I'm worried about it. I'm worried about black people. I'm worried about queer people. I'm worried about people with disabilities. I'm worried about women. I'm worried about everyone because we have fucking fascists. We have a fascist as a president who keeps appointing Nazis within our government.
I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think the only thing that's working for us in this regards in this time is that they're radical, yes, but they're also stupid and they're egotistical. I mean, we're actually.
So what happens when they're not?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying is if you go tit for tat, okay, Trump did this, Trump did, enacted all these laws and he lied and everything that we do the exact same thing. Where are they going to go after 2028,
You think,
or even to the buildup of 2028?
You think someone's going to be mad at you for giving them universal health care?
I don't, but I understand the atmosphere where they can.
Do you think people are going to be mad at you when they don't have to worry about food insecurities?
Obviously, I would say the people that need it will not be mad. No,
the fact
is the people that have to give it will be. I will say that I won't be because I can give it, but the people that
this is stupid because like they already don't know where their tax money goes. It would be different if people could account for like where their tax money goes. They don't know where their tax money goes. They have no fucking idea what percentage of the taxes that are taken out of their check is allocated to social safety nets, is allocated to anything. They just know what they hear. They don't actually know shit. Like, again, you sitting here saying that, oh, this is going to cause them to be more radicalized. Guess what? You can't radicalize people who have like their needs met. Do you know what Maslow's hierarchy is?
Yes.
Okay. So if you meet the basic fundamentals of people's needs, then they can worry about the next things up. And so you can't say that, oh, brown people are coming into the country and taking your jobs when people aren't worried about like wages because you've raised the federal minimum wage. You can't say that, oh, people are, coming in and the reason why food is so unaffordable is because all these other people are on food assistance when everyone can afford food. Like, you can't weaponize those basic needs when everyone's basic needs are taken care of. So it doesn't even make sense. What are they going to start saying? Well, the reason why you don't have a yacht is because these people are here and they're working, federal minimum wage jobs. That doesn't make fucking sense.
I mean, I agree with you. Like I said, it's not. I mean, you had a president or a person that was willing to trick people into voting against their own against their own, you know, basic needs. I mean, obviously, with a lot of people on Trump, there's a lot of people that are regretting voting for Trump. But like I said, I fear where this is going to head. I'm going to guess that you probably also are going to say that Miss Harris is a moderate Democrat as well, probably.
Yes, she is.
Correct. Okay, so then I guess who's the person that's going to who the Democrats are going to push up for this next cycle? Then that's gonna be optically appealing. Because I mean, ultimately, that's what the presidential race is an optically driven race. It's all about optics.
I think the fact that saying that anyone is the candidate for like now is one, like far-reaching to the point we don't even know how things are going to roll out. But also two, like let's be honest, just because I'm willing to like stand behind one person or the other. Sorry, 1 second here. Sorry, 1 second.
Someone said Newsom, Liz Cheney.
Yeah, don't worry about Noah. Just because there's certain people within the Democratic Party that I'm willing to support right now, doesn't mean that overall they're the ones that like I would really want in power, right? I mean, but my actual push for the 2028 presidency is AOC. Like that's the person that I would want to see in power. But give me a second. I got a couple of people to say thank you to, and then we can finish that thought. W's in the chat for Shannon for the $5 donation saying, howdy, partner. Thank you for being the same voice in my generation while we all sail this ship in chaos and try to make sense of it. You rock, Santana. No, you rock, Shannon. W's in the chat for Shannon. Thank you so much for that $5 donation. W's in the chat for Caroline for the $10 donation saying, hey, Santana, this is a two-parter. First, did you hear about Hungary? Yes, I did. Viktor Orban up out the paint. Also, I feel kind of out of place here because the difference in the big pond. But also, I wanted to share a quote from Germany, German song from 2015. Almost 8 billion humans, but no humanity is missing. Exactly. Like the fact that we have so many people who lack humanity in our country is insane. Like it's harmful. W's in the chat for the donos, guys. If anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted and is appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. Guys, hey, look up at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. We're on our way to 200,000 followers. So please, please, please hit that follow button. Turn on notifications so you can know when I go live. I go live all the time. And this week we're going to be doing some really cool shit. I'm going to be setting up debates with people who were on Jubilee with me. And I'm going to be debating those Republicans specifically. So make sure you turn on notifications. You hit that follow button and you know when we go live so you can see that happen. The point that I'm trying to get to is understanding that, like, while I don't subscribe to our current governmental system, I don't think that a two-party system is beneficial or representative of the amount of people within our country. I don't even think the Democratic Party as a whole is someone or is a party that cares about the people. I just think that I know for a fact that the only reason I and a lot of Black people support the Democratic Party is because we believe in progression and we also believe in harm reduction. But with that being said, the Democratic Party has to hold up their part. They can't continue to actually, just say, oh, we're holding the line while people are literally getting shot in the face in the middle of the street. Like, that's not enough. That's not enough. And anyone that's willing to say that we need to go back to where we were doesn't understand how, like, the majority of minorities have been disenfranchised throughout the history of our country, and going back to that marginalization does nothing for those people.
I agree with everything you're saying. As a moderate Democrat, I just understand the world that we live in as far as how this can go very, very wrong. I mean, if you want day one, if we win the 2028 for the guy or for the person in charge, male or female, to start doing executive orders and having his cabinet just change. I mean, it's gonna be really hard, especially with
I want
all the
them
damage.
I want them to come in. I want them to swing the fuck out of that hammer, and I want them to do all the things that we need to do. I don't give a like the fact that Donald Trump has signed so much executive orders, and the only thing that he's done with those executive orders is fucking harm people is mind-blowing. Right? Donald Trump tried to sign an executive order and say that we're all the same gender as we are at conception, which is fucking stupid because that means that all of us are female, right? Donald Trump came in and openly, did harmful shit as a whole. And since he did harmful shit as a whole, like we're dealing with the fallout of that. And for people who are afraid and think that, oh, there's going to be backlash, a serious question. What do you think is worse than what's happening right now? What do you think they can do that's worse than what's happening right now?
I mean, we have, like you said, people in our military and in our office, in certain offices that are Nazis, but like they can go full blown. I mean, that's not a question.
Tell me what you think that they can do that's worse than what's happening right now, because like, again, they're literally shooting people in the face. They've already started a war. The economy is tanking. Like people, life is unaffordable. People can't buy houses. People can't buy groceries. Like people are unemployed. Help me understand what you think. They've already militarized the state where they've flushed money into ICE. And they have ICE terrorizing people, whether it's in communities, whether it's in airports. Like, I'm trying to understand, what more do you think that, like, us getting power and then forcing those good things on them, what extreme do you think that that's going to force the Republican to? Because all of this comes out to a bunch of nothing, because, like, we are in the worst timeline. And, like, I'm trying to understand, what do you mean it gets worse? Donald Trump threatened to completely wipe out like civilization in Iran. He threatened to genocide 92 million people. I'm trying to understand what's worse.
The next person that's actually going to do it.
So your fear of the potential that that the fact that we actually could have someone in the future because we force good things on people, your fear is that they're going to wipe out civilizations because we gave everybody health care.
Like I said, I have seen how the Fox News and the right media spins things, and for whatever reason, it's not good. But they get the point across, even though they're wrong. I mean, that's why we're in this mess to begin with. So, like, if we start doing that, that's why like you said that you're progressive. You're back in the progressive movement. It's progress. It's not just going in there and slamming the hammer and you can do that. And I would be happy, most likely, but I do understand the ramifications after that, because ultimately what we're seeing is we're seeing a lot of the media companies, getting bought up. A lot of them are going to the right wing people. I got a
question for you. How much did Donald Trump spend in his 2024 campaign on misinformation and disinformation around transgender people?
I would have to probably imagine in the $100 millions.
$215 million. How much did Kamala Harris talk about transgender people?
If I remember correctly, I don't remember her bringing that up.
Not at all. The point that I'm getting across is that the Republican Party is willing to put their money where their mouth is and fight for misinformation and disinformation. And the Democratic Party as a whole can't even fight to stop misinformation and disinformation. Like, it's not even about Kamala Harris not advocating for the transgender community. They didn't even put together a message to say, like, hey, what they're saying is a lie. That's not true. Like, they didn't even do that. So the problem isn't just the fact that the Republican Party owns the media. And I've told multiple politicians this to their faces, multiple politicians. The problem is that you guys don't utilize the media, you're unwilling to talk about accomplishments, and you're slow to react. You're slow to have any understanding as far as what's happening. And so that's why you see the right dominating spaces like podcasts. You see them on Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, Aiden Ross. You see them all across the board doing all this different shit and controlling the narrative while the Democratic Party just sits back and lets it happen. And that's the problem.
Like you said, a lot of it comes down to money and their willingness to spend it. I don't see how many billionaires are on the progressive side.
The billionaires give money to both Republicans and Democrats. Like the actual notion of like a billionaire, you know, that like the same people that voted, that donated to Donald Trump donated to Kamala Harris.
Yes,
that doesn't matter.
Well, but I think with his second term, I think we've seen. I think if I looked correctly, the top eight companies on the NASDAQ right now, the CEOs of almost all of them have fallen in line with Trump, and to a degree where I don't know if they can come back from it, or at least the ideology. I think the only person that hasn't done it was Tim Cook. I mean,
that's because they're technocrats. Like, but the fact of the matter is, those ultra wealthy billionaires were going to be there regardless. They were going to like funnel money into the presidential transition for whoever won, right? I mean, like trying to use the excuse that it costs money. Like, no, it doesn't. The only reason that our political system costs as much money as it does is because the people who are involved in our political system are getting rich off of it. That's the only reason. Like, if you take a look at other countries not only have time restraints as far as how long you can run, meaning months, not years, but they also have restraints as far as how much money can be pumped into someone's political party. But not here in the United States of America, because politics in the United States of America, it's not about the people. It's not a civil duty. It's literally people who are going into the public sector to get rich and then move to the private sector to get even more rich. Like that's what our political system is.
So then I'm gonna guess then if in your ideal world, would you then clean action on how you do that? But how would you get those people out of then?
Overturn Citizens United.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree with that. That was a big thing that the Heritage Foundation pushed. I remember when that passed, and I was really confused on why they did that. Obviously, it's for money, but I don't know.
There's a couple of things that have to be done, like overturn Citizens United, abolish the Electoral College, ensure that people have full access to vote, right? Make voting a national holiday. Give everybody the paid day off to be able to go vote. Have ranked choice voting across the country. Like, make it easy. If we can vote, I remember back in like the early 2000s when I was younger and they had like American Idol. And I thought it was so cool that they came out with a portion of American Idol where you could just vote from your phone. And millions of Americans in real time voted from your phone for American Idol. If we could do that in the early 2000s, why haven't we come up with a standardized process that makes it easier for people to vote? Like, we can make it standardized for people to be able to vote from their phone, but it's not about making it easy for people to vote. It's about controlling who does or does not vote. That's why the Republican Party is pushing for the SAVE Act to be passed. Like, all of this, there's so many things that can be done that would actually fix the system instead of completely overhauling it, but people aren't willing to fix the system. So we need to overhaul the entire system.
Okay, I was gonna say what you're saying. Well, all the things that you listed prior to this was a major overhaul. Almost you're tearing up the floor and doing a lot of stuff. But
I mean, like if we're gonna keep it funky, we need to completely get rid of the current United States Constitution and rewrite it from scratch.
Yes, I saw your prompt a couple. What was it? I forget how many times or how long you said it.
Thomas Jefferson said that it should be written a new constitution every 19 years. I don't agree with 19 years, but I do think the Constitution needs to reflect the time that we live in, not, when people had muskets and horses and shit.
Yeah. So do you mind if I ask the question about the Epstein thing?
What question did you have?
I guess ultimately, is there a contingency for at least for the Democrats, or I guess people who are going to be next in power? Obviously, and I do believe that the current president has had his attorney general probably destroy a lot of the documents. I'm going to guess that once we get back in power, we're going to go in there and be looking in there, and all that's going to be in there is going to be the files that we now have, and we're going to have nothing on them. I mean, and knowing that Trump just said a couple of days ago that he's willing to give anybody within I think he said 200 feet of them a pardon. I don't know what the contingency is. Besides, and my only contingency is not would be to advocate for the survivors to come out publicly. That's the only way that you can do it.
I mean, I think like that's the same thing that Melania said as far as having survivors testify in public, but like re-victimizing survivors is not something that I'm interested in. If they want to be able to tell their story, which they have been open and told their story, like I don't agree with forcing them to be able to tell their story. Like that's not something I'm with. But the point that I am going to get across is there's enough people who have prior knowledge to any type of compromising of the Epstein files to be able to like completely validate things, right? There's like apparently there were multiple safe houses around the country that Epstein had with all of the information in like backed up ways. There's also people like his brother who had access and who has firsthand knowledge of certain things that weren't released. And he's been on the record as far as saying like, hey, like this information that's put out doesn't line up with the information that I have prior to the government putting it out. There's plenty of ways to verify what we had prior. And like the only question is whether, you know, anyone is actually going to do anything about it. That's the bigger question.
Yeah, I just fear, and I kind of know in my bottom of my stomach that most likely further in regards to the president's probably going to get away with everything in regards to that specific case. But yeah, no, I understand not re-traumatizing people, but if this is one of the biggest, most profound things in our current timeline, as far as, you know, rich people willing to do this, I think, you know, some people got to take the bullet and might need to get re-traumatized. I'm sorry. If this is that important, they would have to go and testify in public.
You know, you've been up here speaking from a place of privilege this entire time. Have you realized that?
From privilege?
Yes.
In what manner?
In every manner. Like, one, you coming up here saying that, oh, you know, we're not advocating for this overhaul. We need to get back to the status quo. Just to verify, are you a white man?
No.
What's your race?
I'm Guatemalan, so I'm Hispanic.
Hispanic isn't a race. Guatemalan isn't either. How do you identify?
How do I identify? I'm Latino.
Latino isn't a race either. Phenotypically speaking, how do you present to the world? When people look at you, do they see an indigenous man? Do they see a white man? Do they see a black man? If they look at you from a distance, what do they see?
Optically, they're going to see an indigenous man, I guess would be the proper way to say that.
Okay. So phenotypically speaking, you're indigenous.
Yeah, I do not look white.
Okay. All right. So the premise that you're sitting here speaking as far as like, going back to moderate times, that's a place where privilege, again, where other people who have been disenfranchised, including indigenous people, don't benefit from that. But you're speaking as if it would benefit that. And then for you to sit here and say, oh, you know, I know this is, you know, not good, but I'm willing to re-victimize the survivors for the truth. Why do we have to harm people that have already been harmed in order to get the truth when all the information is available? I think, like, would you want people to re-victimize you?
There's 3 million documents that are not available.
No, I'm not saying available to the public. I'm saying available, period. I'm saying the information is available, period. Would you be willing, like, would you want someone to re-victimize you? If you were a victim of rape, if someone had raped you, would you want people to prance you out in the middle of Front Street and put cameras in your face and say, hey, tell us about you being raped?
It depends on what nature it's for.
The question is the
if
question. Would you want people, after you were raped, to bring you out into the middle of the Front Street, stick cameras in your face for the world to see and say, hey, tell us about you being raped?
For the better good, yes.
You're a fucking liar.
If it was done by somebody in power,
you're a fucking liar.
And there was an ecosystem of it,
liar.
which is just the case.
You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. I don't believe you. You're a fucking liar. I'm not saying would you be willing to do it. I'm saying would you want that done? If you're unwilling to do it, would you want? Yes.
But would I understand if it was done? Yes.
I'm not saying anything about you understanding. I'm saying would you want it done?
I mean, I guess if I knew it was going to help, yes.
No. Would you want someone to force you to do that? Not would you be willing to do it? Not would you be understanding of the reason why? Would you want someone to force you to do that?
Would I want someone to force me to do it? No. Would I?
Okay. So why are you good with forcing other people to do that?
Because, like I said, this is a major thing that goes all the way up to the top of the level of the White House. I mean, I think almost everybody deserves to know what occurred.
You're fucking disgusting. Fuck out of here. Get all the way the fuck out of here. W's in chat for Lily for the $1 donation saying, as a trans woman in the Bible Belt, we don't want to argue about our pronouns in bathrooms. We don't want to push anything on anyone. We just want to have basic human rights and generally be left alone. All anybody wants is autonomy and equity. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I say this all the time. Like, you know, the way that people go after transgender people, like they just want to live their lives. It's fucking stupid. It's gross. And transgender people just want to live. And the way that people vilify them is fucking mind blowing. Dub's in the chat for Lily for the $1 donation. You are fucking amazing. Thank you for that. W's in the chat for JP, who sent a $5 super chat to say he sounds like a moderate Democrat who resists real change and professes the status quo, even if it means the cycle of eventually bringing Republicans back. That's what I said. Like him doing that does nothing but advocate for the harm of marginalized communities that have already been harmed, right? And like I said before, I mean, if you truly want to understand like what real like revolution, progression, and liberation looks like, go to some of these other spaces. Like I said, Ari, Kinsey, the women that are actively trying to dismantle and abolish the patriarchal system and gender. Go to Sean and Solid, the people that are actively trying to better the entire proletariat while dismantling capitalism. Like go to the people that are actually looking to get to a point in the future where we no longer have to rely on these systems of race, these systems of gender, and where people have actual equity and people aren't just living. Like that's the thing. Like that's the thing. Those are the people that we need to be listening to, especially you people who for some reason believe in like acceleration. Like it bothers me so fucking much that you people believe in acceleration without a plan. Like none of that makes fucking sense. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it here for now. I am gonna hop off here for a while. I'll be back later on this evening though, hopefully, but we're gonna just call it here for now. I'm gonna try to post some stuff, including the clips and stuff from the debate from with Ro Khanna. I have that whole thing. I got about 5 minutes, which that's crazy. It didn't feel like I felt like I was only talking for like 3 minutes tops, but I was able to debate for like 5 minutes. But I'm gonna post all of that, and then hopefully I will be back later, and then we'll go from there. W's in the chat for politics for the $1.99 super chat to say, through those lens, does progression what does progression look like? It depends on which lens you're talking about politics. If you're talking about like progression in the current sense, it looks like more equity amongst people. If you're talking about through a revolutionary lens, it means abolishing all the systems that are currently upheld. So it depends on which lens you're talking about. W's in chat for all the donuts, guys. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, we'll be back hopefully later this evening for some more debates. We're going to call it. Let's do this.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Great stats will get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey, W's in the chat for the chat. You guys were fucking awesome this morning. I appreciate each and every one of you hanging out with me. We're going to do this again later, sure, probably. I will be putting out some more. I got some actual videos I'm going to put out, some edits. I'm also going to work with those Republicans from Jubilee that I'm going to be setting up with debates, and then I'll get that information out to you guys as well, and we'll go from there. Guys, thank you for all hanging out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you all for being absolutely amazing. Thank you all for just being you. I love you all, and as always,